It's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. You're leaving work and nothing on your to-do list is done. You're overwhelmed and tired, and you can't even possibly imagine cooking another meal tonight. After pulling mommy ninja moves, the kids are finally bathed, fed, and in bed. And now it's 10 o'clock. You still haven't bought your groceries for tomorrow, and you still have not done your laundry or picked up your dry cleaning. Can you relate? I can. I used to be the queen of trying to do everything. And what I've learned in the last few years is that nobody can do everything, and nobody is perfect, and nobody has it all together. I like this interesting quote by Shonda Rhimes in her book, The Year of Yes. She says, pretty powerful, famous women don't say out loud that they have help at home, that they have nannies, housekeepers, chefs, assistants, stylists, whatever it is that they have to keep their world spinning because they are ashamed. Or maybe a more precise way to say it is that these women have been. So we're going to talk about the 9 things that you should be outsourcing, or at least consider outsourcing, to make your mom life easier. So first things first, what are the benefits of outsourcing? The first thing that comes to mind for me is that time is money. If you save time, you save money. Secondly, outsourcing may actually help you save money because sometimes, for example, outsourcing groceries, you may go to the grocery store and buy 5 extra things that you had no plans of buying. But if you stick to a list on your grocery shopping app, then you only get the things that you asked you wanted to get. Last but not least, it's a way to make time for yourself and manage stress. And that way you'll actually have a little extra time for self-care. So what are the 9 tasks that you should be outsourcing? Number 1 is household chores. I don't know about you, but I do not like doing laundry. So that was one of the first things that I actually outsourced. There's so many services available as far as laundry is concerned. And one is a wash and fold service that you can just drop off your clothes, they weigh the clothes, and then they fold them, they wash them and fold them for you, and you just pick them up in your basket and they're all ready to go. Second thing is housekeeping. Now, I know this sounds like a little bit of a splurge, but if you can save time by not having to clean your house every day, then outsource it. That way, when you have time for yourself, you're not worried about all the dishes in the sink and all the stuff that you have to clean up and all the caulk in the bathroom that you need to clean and all the gunk that you need to get rid of because it's all done. The third thing, as far as household, so I have a funny story. Years ago, we lived in a small patio home and we had a reasonably sized yard. And my husband decided that he wanted to cut the grass. Well, we live in Houston, Texas, where it's 2 million degrees in the summer. So he went outside, he cut the grass, and then he decided he was tired and came back inside. Well, the dead grass that had been cut stayed on top of the fresh grass. And a week later, the entire yard grass was dead. And that was the day I decided that we were going to get a person that was going to come do the landscaping and cut the grass and take care of the yard. And after a lot of resistance from my husband, we finally got this amazing guy that comes every 2 weeks. And it's been 5 years and never looking back. The second task you could be outsourcing or should be outsourcing is grocery shopping and baby food. So when I had my daughter, we did not have any help. And so I remember Amazon had just come up with Prime Now for Whole Foods when we came home. And we have used that service like more than we ever did before having Bella. And it's incredible because there's no upcharge on the pricing and we get everything we need from Whole Foods, AKA Whole Paycheck. The other app that we use frequently is Instacart. And if you listen to the beginning of the podcast, if you would like to get $10 off your first Instacart order, please go to Stethoscopes to Swaddles /Instacart for the code. So the good thing about Instacart is that you get real time, and also Amazon Prime Now and Amazon Fresh, you get real-time text messages from the shopper. I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, I have to buy my groceries. I need to see and feel and touch the stuff. And I mean, I guess I've never just been big on like buying perfect produce. So it's not a deal breaker for me, but I honestly feel like the shoppers actually get me better groceries than I would get myself, especially as far as fresh produce is concerned. And the beauty of, especially with Amazon, is that if you have a problem with the quality of the produce or whatever you purchased, their customer service is incredible and they take care of replacements immediately. The one thing I will warn you, especially with Instacart, is that when you're making a purchase, if, for example, you want a bunch of bananas and you click on six, you make sure that it's actually number of items and not number of bunches, or you'll end up in the situation that my sweet neighbor ended up with, where she got 6 bunches of bananas. And fortunately, it was the beginning of COVID. And so she just gave all of us bananas and we baked banana bread. But it's not fun when you get like 5 times of the thing that you wanted because you didn't look. So that's just one caveat you have to be paying attention to when purchasing. Um, the other thing, if you have a Costco membership, one thing I really like is that, there is some surcharge with Instacart. And if you have a Costco membership, if you go in Costco and on the Costco app and you search same day, you log in there and there's a same day powered by Instacart. So you do get the grocery delivery and you do pay the delivery charge, but you don't pay the upcharge on prices. And also all the purchases that you make go on your Costco account. So your savings still stays on your account. And the same is true for Sam's Club. I believe you can, I'm not sure how whether you do it on the app, but I know that if you go on Instacart, it links your membership to Sam's Club. So that's just something to think about, especially if you like your savings and you just want to have, the products that you get from the store and you don't want to go to the store. So Costco for us has been game changing because especially during COVID, I just did not want to have to go to the store and like get in line just to get 5 things that we get all the time from Costco. So it was really easy for us and no regrets there. So as far as baby food, um, when I had my daughter, I thought I was gonna cook all the meals and puree everything. And reality was, as soon as I went back to work, um, especially on the weekends, it was a little difficult. And so we ended up getting Little Spoon subscriptions. And we actually got those for a while. I do have a Little Spoon discount code. If anybody is interested, feel free to message me. I believe it's $20 off your first order, but it's just like on my private account. So if you're interested, please let me know. But the quality of the food was great, and I didn't have to worry about coming home and like cutting all the stuff up and cooking it, and then also like food waste, right? Because if we were only like making the food for one child and she still wasn't like eating the stuff that we were cooking, and so I didn't want to just puree a whole bunch of things and waste it. So Little Spoon really came in handy. So the third thing you should be outsourcing if this is not your jam is meals. So one is like Uber Eats, obviously, DoorDash and Postmates, where you can have your food delivered to you. It's already cooked, ready to go. And then there's a lot of healthier options. So like if you live in a city with Snap Kitchen does do deliveries. And so you still are able to control your macros and what you're getting in the meals, but they're all delivered to your front door and you don't have to go to the store. The other thing, as far as meals, which is something we use, is find somebody who does a meal prep service. And you would be surprised how reasonable the pricing is. And you just buy the groceries and you either plan your menus or they plan your menus. And it works out for our family because it's just 3 of us. And we just get 1 day a week of prepped meals. It sounds like a luxury, but honestly, especially when I'm trying to be like cognizant of what I'm eating, it's just so much easier and it makes my life so much easier not to have to worry about what I'm cooking, when I'm going to cook it. And it also saves us from eating out. So at the end of the day, we do save money on having meal prep service. And the fourth thing is errands. So things like picking up your dry cleaning, right? You do not need to go to the dry cleaners to pick up your dry cleaning if you don't want to. And there's so many services. I know Favor, for example, does that. TaskRabbit, I believe, also does that. And speaking of TaskRabbit, like they will also do like other like little errands for you. And I believe it's a flat fee, but I'm not 100% sure, but that's something that you can look into. The fifth thing, and I know this is a big pain for me, is package pickups and shipping. So instead of going to the post office and standing in line and just honestly going to the post office for me is so exhausting. Um, USPS offers a service where you get the boxes, you create the shipping labels, and your mail person picks up the packages. And I don't even believe there's an upcharge for that. It's just part of the shipping. Like they come up to pick up drop off your mail, and they pick up your mail. FedEx and UPS also offer pickup services, and I believe it's also not an added fee. But it's just something to think about, especially during the holidays where you're shipping stuff to your family, you're returning a lot of purchases. You can just have them pick up, and it's so easy to set up. Saves you a drive, saves you the money on gas, and saves you time from standing in line. Number five is finance. One of the most interesting things for me is how little people utilize like auto pay and bill pay with their banks. So example for me, which kind of comes across as lazy, is that our water bill through our HOA, we have to pay by check. And they don't have a billing account set up to just deposit the funds. So what we do is just basically go on Chase, and we log the amount due and when we want the check to be shipped to be sent, and they sent the check through Chase, and Chase takes care of it for me. Um, while it's just like, a walk to the office and a drop off, for me, the accountability part of it and knowing that the check has been mailed and I don't have to worry about it, and Chase like sends me a notice that the check was mailed, and then the money is out of my account, and so I'm not thinking, oh yeah, I need to like remember this certain amount of money for the water bill. So that definitely makes it easier. Another thing is bank alerts. Keeping like automated bank alerts. My husband has like these crazy like settings where he'll like text me. He'll say, "Oh, there was a $5 purchase." I don't have those strict alerts, but I still have alerts like that tell me like when my auto pays go through, when my checks go through, when my deposits go through. That way, I'm able to keep up with the finances without constantly like checking the bank account. Um, Number seven, which is I think a lot of moms struggle with this, is like how to manage your photos and your photo books. Um, that is something you can so easily outsource. I believe one of the easiest services is chat books, where they actually just create photo books for you. Shutterfly also has similar services. And you just like you download all the images, and then you just get beautiful photo books, and you're not sitting there like trying to create the photo books yourself. Time is money. You save time and you save money. Number eight is shopping for clothes. I do not like clothes shopping. Matter of fact, when I go to the store, I don't like going to the fitting room. However, years of experience have taught me the clothes that suit my body type, what I like, the colors that I like. So, what I usually do is shop online with companies that I know. Either I can look up the reviews and see the fit on other people. So, and then also returns are easy, which is one of the main reasons I shop at Nordstrom, because their return policy is so flexible. I can, get the clothes at home, try them on. If I don't like them, I just return them. The other thing, which is a service that I don't use, is you can have like a stylist style your clothes for you and just ship them to you. So Nordstrom has Trunk Club, and there's also Stitch Fit, Stitch Fix, and Fabletics also has a delivery service for athleisure. So just things to think about. I shop online, and it's just easier for me because I do not like going to the mall, and I do not like crowds, and I don't like being like pressured to purchase something, especially when you're in the store. And I feel like an obliger when it comes to like when the store assistants ask me if I need help, and then I find myself like asking for things that I did not need. So it's just easier to shop online and save time and save money and save a trip to the mall and like avoid crowds. Number nine, for those of you that have pets, is dog walking services. If you love walking your dog, more power to you. I do not have pets, so I can't relate, but I see that in a lot of people are like, oh, the dog walking, especially for people that work like crazy work hours. It's just a service that is available, somebody comes and does it for you, and you don't have to worry about it when you get home from work, like somebody needs to go walk the dog. Especially if you can find somebody trustworthy to do it for you, it's right there, it's taken care of, something off your plate. So couple of things as far as outsourcing and delegating for moms is just check your priorities and see what it is that you really want, right? If you enjoy doing certain things like going to the grocery store, by all means, please don't delegate that if you enjoyed it, right? But if you enjoy it at the expense of spending time on yourself and with your family and you're frustrated, I know going to the store with a toddler is just hectic. They want everything in the shelves. And my patience usually starts running thin when I feel like we're running late. And especially lately, it's been raining a lot in Houston. And just the thought of going to the store with Bella and trying to get out of the store when it's pouring rain, it overwhelms me. Therefore, it's just not my style. The other thing is your resources and your abilities, right? I know that it's not reasonable for everybody to outsource and delegate. However, the way one mom that I was reading, I was reading an article about outsourcing for moms, and she says basically what she does is calculate the hourly cost of whatever she's trying to delegate versus her hourly pay, which is something I usually have in the back of my mind. Like if it takes me X amount of time versus paying somebody a tenth of that amount of time to do it, is it worth it? Is it worth giving that activity up? And if it's not, that's okay. um but just think about that as you try to carve out time for yourself and self-care. Like if you make time by delegating things that you don't have to be doing, you create time for yourself. The other thing to think about is, what do you enjoy? So some people love cleaning, some people love doing laundry, but then they don't like going to the grocery store. So whatever it is that you enjoy that you feel like you still need to keep as part of your lifestyle, that's well and good. But if it's things that you don't enjoy and it's within your finances to delegate, I absolutely recommend it. And one thing too is to think about is also, I think women feel the need to say that, they have it all and they can do it all. And the reality is, you cannot do it all. I mean, you can do a lot, but you can't do everything. And if you do it all, it's at the expense of something. So something suffers. So if you pile up your activities and your to do list with so many things to do, then and then you prioritize your kids and your family, that leaves very little time for yourself. So it's just something to think about. What are you doing to make time for yourself? I know a lot of people like will say to me, wow, you have so much time. And the honest truth is I do not. There are 24 hours in a day, and we all have 24 hours in a day. And the way I spend my 24 hours is very intentional, and I try to really like prioritize my time and time spent with my daughter and my husband and also my friends. So what I try to do is, if I can knock off one activity that I don't want to be doing or don't have to be doing, then I have time for me to read a book, to work out, to plan for vacations back when we used to be able to travel. So just something to think about. The other thing is the guilt of delegating, right? Like I did want to discuss delegating childcare, which is something a lot of working mothers do. However, I think that's kind of an obvious one, especially if you need the childcare. But there's also like the shaming of mothers who feel that they want to delegate childcare, vis-a-vis getting a nanny or going to daycare. And, you know, I struggle with that sometimes too, like the thought of I have to go to work and leave my daughter with a nanny. However, when my daughter makes the comment about, you're going to be gone and I'm going to miss you, and I do make it clear that I will miss her too. And while that's difficult, I'm also teaching her work ethic, and I'm also teaching her that I'm contributing to our household. So if you're struggling with the shame of, honestly, it's not actually the shame. It's the feeling that you're being shamed by others because you're delegating. My advice to you is stop worrying about what people think and say, and just take care of yourself and your family, because at the end of the day, those are the people that matter, and those are the activities that are going to push you forward to be a better version of yourself and to succeed. So thank you again for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I will also be sharing a blog post in the coming week with more details on delegating and outsourcing for mothers. Please don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a review. And let's continue this conversation on social media at stethoscopes.2.swaddles on Instagram or www.stethoscopes2swaddles.com. Have a great week.